We all love Nezuko, but have you ever wondered what the story would be like if, instead of Nezuko, her younger brother Takeo had turned into a demon? How would that change the plot, and what new twists might unfold? Well, you don't have to wonder for long, because we've got all the answers. We've gathered some fascinating theories from across the internet to put them together in this video. Be sure to watch until the end, you won't want to miss any of these intriguing ideas. I found 3 interesting theories about how the story would be. In the first theory, we should consider the possibility that Takeo would turn out to be a similar demon to Nezuko. Like the original storyline, Tanjiro ventures into the town to sell coal, and just as he returns, he comes across his family being slaughtered and Nezuko turned into a demon. However, in this storyline, Takeo is the one who is turned into a demon by Muzan. Tanjiro will grab him and rush toward the town for help. On their way, they come across Giyu, who understands the situation and sends Tanjiro to Urokodaki to become a demon slayer. Considering that Takeo is the exact same demon as Nezuko, the events of the storyline would turn out quite similar to the original one. Tanjiro will train to become a demon slayer, and both of them will venture into the outside world to search for a cure. A major difference Takeo's presence would make here is the fact that Zenitsu might not accompany Tanjiro on his journey because his sole motivation was Nezuko. Takeo is also adorable, but I'm pretty sure Zenitsu wouldn't want to marry him. There's also a massive possibility that Zenitsu would get killed along the storyline because Tanjiro was the one who saved him. If we are considering that Takeo's personality is quite similar to Nezuko's as well, then there won't be any changes in the entire storyline except Zenitsu not accompanying them. I know I'm being a bit sexist here, but being a guy, Takeo might prove more helpful to the Demon Slayer Corps and Tanjiro in exterminating demons and finding a cure for himself. Anyways, the story will most probably end with Tanjiro and the others killing Muzan just like the original timeline, and there won't be any major changes. In the previous scenario, we considered the possibility that Takeo is kind-hearted just like Nezuko, but in this one, things are slightly different. After that horrific night, Tanjiro returns to his family home only to find his entire family slaughtered and his younger brother, Takeo, transformed into a demon. Though Takeo still retains faint memories of his family, his demonic hunger overpowers him and he keeps ambushing Tanjiro. Instead of attacking him, Tanjiro, on the other hand, is determined to find a way to bring back Takeo's humanity, refusing to lose the last family he has left. In this timeline, Tanjiro doesn't meet Giyu on his way to the town and doesn't become a demon slayer. Instead, he embarks on a journey to find someone who can help him understand and possibly reverse Takeo's demonic transformation. After wandering around for some time, he hears about some rumors about a demon doctor named Tamayo. With no other options left, Tanjiro sets out to find her. Unlike Nezuko, Takeo can't replenish his energy by sleeping, and for this reason, Tanjiro has to actually kill humans to feed him. He eventually reaches Tamayo, who agrees to help him and Takeo, warning him, however, that the process will take time and might never fully restore Takeo's humanity. Despite all this, Tanjiro is determined to help his younger brother regain his humanity. Their new life becomes a constant struggle. Takeo's demonic urges are uncontrollable at times, forcing Tanjiro to keep him restrained while feeding him his own blood sometimes. Tanjiro's hope starts to fade as he watches Takeo suffer, switching between brief calm moments and intense bloodlust. But even so, he's more determined than ever to protect him. As they travel, rumors of Tanjiro protecting a demonized sibling begin to spread, drawing the attention of both demons and the Demon Slayer Corps. Many demon slayers begin seeing Tanjiro as a rogue, believing he's either fallen under demonic influence or is committing an unforgivable offense by sheltering a demon. Tanjiro, however, continues to evade them. Tamayo had also trained him to some extent so he can avoid demons and demon slayers. This news eventually reaches Muzan and he gets intrigued by it. He wonders if he could use Takeo as a tool and possibly uncover some secrets as well. One night, Muzan approaches Tanjiro and offers him an unsettling proposition. He promises Tanjiro that he has the power to stabilize Takeo and even ease his suffering, but in return, Muzan demands Tanjiro's loyalty and access to any research Tamayo might have gathered on human-demon hybrids. Suspicious yet desperate, Tanjiro initially rejects Muzan's offer, but the Demon King gaslights him into believing that Tamayo's methods aren't enough to truly save Takeo. He further gaslights him by stating that Tanjiro must be willing to do anything, even if it means aligning himself with the very monster who caused his family's ruin. With the Demon Slayer Corps relentlessly pursuing him and Muzan's offer weighing on his mind, Tanjiro faces an impossible choice. His loyalty to humanity and hatred for demons clash against his desperation to save his brother. Tamayo warns Tanjiro that aligning with Muzan could lead to devastating consequences for both him and Takeo, but Tanjiro's own doubts begin to surface. At this lowest point, with Takeo on the verge of losing all control, Tanjiro starts to wonder if the only way to save his brother might mean giving up everything he once believed in. This doubt leads him down a darker path, caught between the Demon Slayer Corps, who see him as a traitor, and Muzan, who lures him with false promises wrapped in deceptive kindness. As Tanjiro struggles to find his way, he slowly becomes a reluctant pawn in Muzan's schemes, a rogue Demon Slayer torn between his duty and his loyalty to Takeo, whose existence is both a blessing and a curse. Tanjiro ends up becoming a pawn for Muzan, who instructs him to join the Demon Slayer Corps and become a double spy. He also asks the Upper Moon 1 Kokushibo to become his master, and under his supervision, Tanjiro rises through the ranks of the Demon Slayer Corps. In the previous two scenarios, we've considered the possibility that the story will proceed quite similar to the original timeline, or Takeo will end up becoming an experiment for Muzan. However, in this scenario, things are slightly different from the original timeline and the previous two scenarios. The beginning of the story will be similar to the original timeline, with Tanjiro returning to his dead family and noticing that Takeo is alive instead of Nezuko. Now, in the previous scenario, we assumed that Takeo's personality is quite different from Nezuko's, but he still retains some of his humanity and doesn't fully transform into a demon. Just the previous scenario, Takeo is entirely different from Nezuko and keeps attacking Tanjiro. However, in this timeline, he is fully transformed into a demon and doesn't remember anything. Despite this, Tanjiro is determined to save his brother and turn him into a human. As Tanjiro begins his journey, he binds and restrains Takeo, keeping him hidden from those who would harm him. However, every day is a battle as Takeo grows stronger and increasingly difficult to control, his mind slipping further into darkness. When they cross paths with Giyu, the water Hashira, Giyu is quick to perceive Takeo as a threat. He decides that putting Takeo down is the only viable option to prevent future bloodshed, but Tanjiro, on his knees and begging, convinces Giyu to let them go, promising he will find a cure and keep Takeo away from innocent people. Being the kind of guy he is, Giyu listens to his plea and agrees. However, he knows that Tanjiro won't be able to control Takeo for long because he will continue getting stronger. For this reason, he sends him to Urokodaki for training. Tanjiro later begins training under Urokodaki, all the while hiding Takeo's worsening condition. But Urokodaki notices Tanjiro's struggle with the weight of this secret and warns him of the dangerous path awaiting him. As Tanjiro grows stronger, so does Takeo's hunger, with his demonic instincts overpowering him. When Tanjiro encounters Muzan and Asakusa, he seizes the opportunity to ask Muzan if there's any way to restore Takeo's humanity. Like in the previous scenario, Muzan offers Tanjiro to become a spy for him, and he will make sure that Takeo gets treated. Desperate and torn, Tanjiro accepts, hoping he can manage to save his brother without truly endangering his allies. He begins a double life, slipping secrets to Muzan while trying to convince himself that he's only buying time. Yet, with every bit of information he relays, the attacks by demons on the Corps grow more calculated and deadly, and rumors start circulating within the ranks. One day, however, as he's sneaking back from meeting Muzan, Tanjiro is intercepted by Giyu and the other Hashira. They reveal that they've been monitoring his movements and discovered his connection to Muzan. Confronted with his betrayal, Tanjiro tries to explain that he only did it to save Takeo, but his pleas fall on deaf ears. The Hashira, now seeing him as a traitor, declare that his actions have caused irreparable harm to their ranks and led to the deaths of countless demon slayers. Heartbroken but unyielding, Tanjiro accepts his fate, knowing he made his choices willingly, even if it means his own ruin. Hashira sentenced him to be executed by hanging, intending to make an example of him for the rest of the Corps. On the day of his execution, Tanjiro stands before the Corps with his hands bound, his gaze steady as he faces his death. The memory of his family, of what he's sacrificed, and the pain he's endured to protect Takeo flashes through his mind as the noose is placed around his neck. as he's hanged. The core members watch in silence, some with grim satisfaction, others with regret. Tanjiro's final thoughts are filled with the faces of his family and a faint hope that maybe, in another life, things might have turned out differently. In the end, Tanjiro's sacrifice and betrayal becomes a cautionary tale within the Demon Slayer Corps, forever remembered as the Slayer who loved too fiercely and fell too far. What do you guys think would have happened if the Hashira hadn't caught him? Well, that's a story for another What If. In the meantime, if you want to see more cool anime videos, you can check out this other video that appears on your screen. Click on it! Click it!